It's 100 degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degrees, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea. It's 100 degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degrees, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
What's going on, Diamond Gang? I am late and I apologize. I fell asleep, but I'm back. I'm back. What's up, EJ? What's going on? Well, we won't get into this ballroom chaos. So, this overshadowed the war. So, of course, I'm looking for war updates, and everything on my timeline was about this ballroom shooting. This is what's crazy. Some people think it was staged. Some people think it was staged. They think it was staged so that he can um, continue the construction in the White House to get the ballroom with the bunkers, the underground bunker. So we're going to see. I want to see what y'all think on this. This is not going to be. It's serious because it was a serious situation. We're going to look at a couple different people's opinions, and then we can form our own opinion. So if you guys are new here, I always start off where I left off. So I'm going to start off with the actual event. Hi, Epstein. Yeah, you think it's a distraction? I don't know. To be honest with you, I think this is a big distraction from what's going on over there in the Middle East. That's what I believe. But let me bring up my screen. Some of these reactions had me cracking up. Let me make myself a little smaller and we're going to start watching from the time it happened. Let's get into it, Diamond Gang. If you're new here, please, y'all know I love when y'all hit the like. If you want to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Because I got a lot of footage. Let's go.
The shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner has been identified as 31-year-old Cole Allen from Torrance, California, and he was a guest at the hotel. And his
Diamond Gang, it looks as if this was planned. Um, we're going to get into his background as well tonight. Very troubling, very troubling. And then Trump actually snapped earlier on 60 Minutes. So we're going to get into that. I was watching everything um, all day, all the way up until right now, real time. So y'all know I always stop with whatever's going on in real time. And he actually snapped on 60 Minutes. All right, let's get into it.
house, or wherever he was living here in Torrance, California, is being searched, as well as the hotel room. We should know more about the motives behind this soon. He was heavily armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. Trump released this video showing the shooter run through the metal detector, get past security, and just sprint.
And according to reports, he owned several weapons legally. So he was registered. He was a registered owner.
Right through. We know that at least one member of law enforcement was shot in a bulletproof vest and will be just fine. The shooter has been charged with 2 counts using a firearm during a crime or violence and assault on federal officers using a deadly weapon. Trump, of course, took this opportunity to justify why the new big, beautiful ballroom.
Listen, Diamond Gang, Cash Patel. When you guys see this footage of Cash Patel, if you have not seen it yet, this is ridiculous. Let's go.
Is needed at the White House.
I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
Listen, Diamond Gang, they was on it first thing in the morning. The Republicans was crying about this ballroom.
Patel took the stage to say this.
The president's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country.
Listen, his job is on the line. So I'm not even mad at him. He's kissing his behind so good right here. This is ridiculous. But when you guys see what he was doing,
country, and that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel.
Now remember, he's the director. These is his boys. These is his boys, right? Diamond Gang, I need y'all to please hit the like. Please hit the like. If you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned. Please and thank you.
Funny here is the leader of the FBI didn't do any of the things he had just mentioned.
Y'all see? Y'all see Cash? This is what he was doing, y'all. I laughed so hard. I must have watched this clip about 30 times, y'all. I kid y'all not.
Way to go, Cash. I still think he's getting fired in the next couple weeks or days, but maybe kissing up to Trump helped his case a little bit. I just have to include this clip of
Trump don't care. Pam Bondi did so much butt kissing, and he still got rid of her.
Erica Kirk. Listen to what she says here. I just want to go home.
Listen, I don't care. I don't care. I don't play like that. I don't. I mean, a lot of people, they do not like Erica Kirk. Something traumatic just happened to her. She was traumatized. I believe that. I really do.
That is the phrase that most survivors of mass shootings say. This is common. And here she is saying it. Fake like her crying, or does she actually experience fear? But the organization she's running,
I think she experienced fear. I really do. A lot of people don't like her. But y'all know what just happened to her husband. How could that not be? How could she not be traumatized by something like that? That's all I'm saying. Now, y'all know I don't like Trump's shenanigans and things like that, and I voice my opinion, and my opinions are very strong. I don't play about stuff like this. That's it. That's all.
takes tons of money from the NRA supporting guns. And it was even her late husband that said a few gun deaths in the nation are what's necessary to have the Second Amendment rights.
And that part is true. Her husband was for it. He was for it.
Will she change her opinion on things now? Let me know what you guys think about this all in the comments, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
An individual charged a U.S. Secret Service checkpoint here in the lobby area of the hotel. He was armed with a shotgun.
Diamond Gang, I also got a breakdown of the ballroom, and it's like showing you the different angles that we could not see on camera. So I'm going to show you guys that as well.
Shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual. This is a very preliminary investigation at this point. We do know that
his manifesto was very disturbing, and his family members actually alerted law enforcement about his shenanigans, okay? He was anti-Christian. He was anti-Trump. He was definitely aiming for them.
law enforcement exchanged gunfire with the individual. We do know that a U.S. Secret Service uniformed division officer was struck in his vest. He was transported to a local hospital for treatment. He seems to be in good spirits at this time. The suspect in this case, he was not struck by gunfire. However, he was transported.
But guess what, Diamond Gang? Guess what's so alerting? They did not impose top security, which is the National Special Security Event designation. They had a lower level of security, which I'm shocked. And I'll show you guys that as well.
To a local hospital to be evaluated. Again, we're very early in the investigation. We have members of the United States Secret Service, the Metropolitan Police Department, and the FBI here to continue to investigate this matter. But at this point, it does appear he is a lone actor, a lone gunman. There does not appear to be any sort of danger to the public at this time.
Another thing, they raided his house last night. They talked to some of his neighbors. And those same writings was there as it in, the writings at the hotel. He literally wanted them to find those writings. So we're going to get into that as well.
Silver foil floor, got it? No. Switch over to silver foil at the top of the stairs.
I'm not sure why his shirt was off. Maybe they ripped it when they rushed him. I don't know, but this is weird.
Got it. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Yes, I even Matthew, I got a clip of him. He made some type of part to a wheelchair. I have that where the news interviewed him. Yeah, he was a teacher. That's yeah, he was around kids. So y'all think it was fake? Wait, they could say that. They could say it was fake because this is all about what you guys think. It's their opinion. So let me know if you guys think that this was staged or not. Okay, let's get into it. All opinions will be respected, just as long as you're not disrespectful. It's all good. But if faked or staged, yeah. Staged. That's a better word for it. But if they want to say it was fake, let them have their opinion. They can have it. But I'm the one who got to watch what I say. But they could say it was fake if they think it was, fake. But all opinions will be respected, just as long as you're not disrespectful. If you become disrespectful, my mods will move you. This is a safe space for you to say what you feel. Please misspell curse words, and please don't disrespect each other in the chat. That's all. Thanks. Bingo. He made the Teacher of the Month, Mr. Cole Allen, C2 Education, Torrance, California. This is the man right here. So when I watched the interview, and that's the interview that I will show you guys, he didn't seem completely normal, but he didn't seem totally off. So you said, I don't know, but it's crazy that we're having this conversation. Why you say that? Why you think it's crazy? Put it in the chat. Guess what? I wanted to do a war update. Nothing's going on. This is overshadowing what's going on in the Middle East. So, all right, let's get into it.
Nobody told me this was such a dangerous business.
This is where I'm like, this is a little shady. When he says that he studied assassinations, y'all, I fell out. Some moments of what happened was like a comedy show to me. From Kash Patel sitting there, from President Trump saying he studied assassinations. I'm like, this is not real. Let's go.
Profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job, and it's part of the job. It is a dangerous. I can't imagine.
That part. But, EJ, they're trying to say that the first one was staged as well.
That there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post.
Here it goes, where he says, I studied. No, this is not it. This might not be it. I'm sorry.
That this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask,
because he traveled by train, and they're like, how was he able to walk around with this arsenal?
Respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well,
Now you hear the question, why do you think this keeps happening to you? Let's hear what he has to say. Diamond Gang, I got 321 in the building. Can you guys please get the likes up for me, please, and thank you. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned, but please, more importantly, hit the like for your girl.
I've studied assassinations, and
Bingo, this is the clip. So Trump said he has studied assassinations. This is unreal.
I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln.
And look at Patel. He want to drink so bad, you can tell.
When you go through the people that have gone through this, where they got them, but the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't.
And here's the thing. He said the ones that make the biggest impact. He did not mention JFK. He didn't mention JFK.
Go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years.
If this is staged, he's something else. I'm just going to say that. Let me just say that.
And now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country. And there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
As you mentioned, it all happened.
I'm going to bring this clip up again. And he brings up Abraham Lincoln. He didn't say JFK. He said Abraham Lincoln.
And so quickly. And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats.
Now, this woman right here, she's CBS News senior White House correspondent. She was sitting next to him. She had her baby there, y'all. There was a magician there, and he was, showing them the cards, and everybody is trying to make something out of the magician in these cards. I don't see nothing. I don't see anything. But she had her child there.
In that moment, when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. Happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady, am I right? And
He's making himself seem like he is this big hero. This is I'm just watching this in real time. Like, what?
I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times.
The crazy part of it is that they got J.D. Vance out before they got him out. They literally picked him up out of his seat.
And it was pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't reached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster.
The fact that they were not actually up on President Trump is blowing my mind. I told you guys earlier, they did not impose the National Special Security Event designation when it came to security. They got a lower level security. It's crazy to me.
Esther, Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people. But
So Jeremy said it's fake. Wake up. JD Vance is going to be. You think so, Matt? I don't know. At first, I thought before he went over to negotiate, but when he got back and he started basically, spewing the same rhetoric as Trump, I'm like, he's blowing it. He's blowing his chances, in my opinion.
we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to.
Someone said Vance was earlier to move and security immediately surrounded him. Oh, EJ, that's you. Yeah, they did. They got him out quick.
Let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they.
You said false flag? Some people are saying that now. I'm going to show you guys. Diamond Gang, I got 425 and a like. Can you please hit the like, please? And thank you. The likes keep me in the algorithm. I need y'all to please hit that like for your girl. If you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned.
Didn't want to take a chance, and I understand there was protocol.
They did that before they got Trump. Listen, Diamond Gang, when I say part of this was like a comedy show, there was a man that went viral. While everybody was ducking down, he was eating his salad. He refused to get up. He was just, ducked down. He was sitting there like nothing was going on.
It was a very sad evening in many ways. And it was also an evening where a lot of people got together. It was.
Now, he speaks about the Democrats that was there. And the way he described it is that was a moment of peace, So let's take a listen.
I saw some Democrats as we were leaving, and they were generally hostile. And last night they were waving to me, and politicians, congressmen, senators, they were waving and saying, "Great going." And
someone said, "Can't wait for someone to cry wolf the third time." And you said, Corn said they're all actors. Was everybody buying in this? Haven't we seen this before? Wag the dog. Do you guys know that her wag the dog? I'm not sure what that means.
Hello. So there was something very nice to tell you. It was, I mentioned it last night in my little discussion. I think it
it does make sense. They did fail to protect him, I think.
Came together. The place was just coming together. It was very nice to see, actually.
We have some big news right now. There are calls for heads to roll right now after images like this.
Look at him. Head director of the feds. Look at this. Like, this right here is blowing my mind.
Of Kash Patel at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night. And it comes as Donald Trump's first comments this morning following what happened last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner is to demand the building of the ballroom at the White House. But not just the ballroom, the top secret ballroom currently.
I want y'all guys to put it in the chat. Do you think they will drop the lawsuit, and do you think Congress will let him move on with this ballroom?
Under construction, saying that the lawsuit has no standing and should not be allowed to interfere with the construction, the lawsuit to stop the ballroom. Well, it comes as there's now calls for heads to roll, whether it's Kash Patel or others following what happened last night. especially those at Secret Service. Former administration official told Real Clear Paul.
No, I understand what you're saying, Adrian. However, I think the way that it happened, the fact that they had to run in there and rush up to him, and there literally was none of them around, you can tell they didn't get top security.
Quote, "This guy is going to get killed and everyone will keep their jobs," referring to the president. And the people who put the current Secret Service head in charge, well, it's under Susie Wiles' purview, the chief of staff, and it's on, she says, quote, "If anything goes wrong, it's on the boys," referring to Trump's sons, because they're the ones who pushed to put the current head of Secret Service in. Lots of news right now, more updates soon.
Talking about Cash Patel. Talking about Cash.
Follow along for more.
So, of course, Trump made his first post of the day arguing why the White House ballroom needs to be completed. Now that there's been this attempted assassination, this is what it's being called now by many of the authorities. They think Trump was targeted. He is saying that this is the reason why we need this state-of-the-art secure ballroom at the White House. He's trying to say this would have never happened. The hotel where this event took place yesterday did not have magnetometers, the metal detectors.
Right. As soon as you went into the hotel, they did not. However, once you entered the ballroom, got to the ballroom, they did. They had them. Let's get it.
Going into the hotel, only to the ballroom. But this event has been there for years and years, and there's never been any issues until Trump. So we've got a judge putting his ballroom project on hold. Then we have, shortly after, a shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner at another ballroom in D.C.
And this is the reason why they feel like it was staged about this ballroom. Do you think that he would go through these lengths to get this ballroom?
A hotel, and he's here arguing that everyone's been demanding this for this very reason. This is why they need it. It will be on the ground.
You're welcome, Adrian. Thanks for participating. Everybody that's participating in the chat, I love this. This is what I like to see when I go live.
Grounds of the White House, and this would be a military top secret ballroom. The other thing that's happened on top of this, we have what.
However, sometimes I want to be in the chat with y'all and I get distracted and I start chatting and talking with y'all.
Looks like a coordinated effort. Not sure if it is, but it appears that way because it happened so quickly and so strongly from the right-wing MAGA influencers that are out there saying that we need the ballroom. The ballroom needs to be completed. The lawsuit needs to go away. Complete the ballroom. These are the facts of the day. You can make your own conclusions. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you back here for the 4-1.
Yes, they all woke up this morning chanting, "We need the ballroom."
1-1.
I'm here in front of the Washington Hilton where the White House Correspondents' Dinner was held last night, and I want to take you through what I meant when I said that there was lax security to get in. And what the
Y'all ready to see what he means when he says that it's lax security? He's going to do like a tour and show you guys.
New York Times and others have confirmed. So right here, we're about a half a block below the Hilton Hotel. This right here is where the first entrance was, the first barricade. At this barricade, there were about 2 people, security, checking to see whether or not when you were entering the building, you had either a guest pass to stay at the hotel, an invitation to the dinner, or an invitation to one of the other events.
Mind you guys, there were other events going on. So it's like, wow, I'm shocked. I am. I'm shocked that they did not have more security, especially as you entered. I don't know.
That were happening at the hotel. I was going to one of the other events happening before the dinner and left before the dinner began. At this checkpoint, when you walk in, there was no metal detector. There were no wands. You have to make this walk up. And after you made it up this hill, you come in front of this entrance, the side entrance to the Hilton. There was a bit of chaos last night, but essentially when you get here, you stood in a line on this carpet behind me. And as you enter the building, you're entering exactly where the red carpet for the White House dinner was. This is the red carpet where cabinet.
So at that point, anybody could go in and out. Anybody.
Officials, White House officials, Democrats, Republican member of Congress's walk. As you enter to go on the red carpet, there were no metal detectors, no ones. And once again, the only check was to make sure that you had a screenshot or a printout of some type of ticket, guest pass, etc. They weren't even checking name.
I'm gonna be honest. This right here, would be as if you were going to a big, huge club in the city. Me personally, that's not enough.
Now, as you walk through the building, you would make a right down here. Here was the event directory. As you can see, there were a bunch of other events happening at this hotel at the same time. And right down there was...
So it looks as if there were 3 different events going on at this hotel.
Was the entrance to some of the events and also the dinner. To get down this elevator, this escalator, you did not need to go through a metal detector or did not need to be wanded. And right now it appears as though it's been blocked off down there. But when you get down there, I'll just give you perspective. You walk down.
This could have been a checkpoint for them right here. Before they go down that escalator to get in that ballroom, that could have been a checkpoint.
On a long hall to the left are a number of rooms. That's where there are a bunch of pre-parties. Cabinet secretaries, officials were all there. Once again, no wanding, no metal detectors. It wasn't until you actually entered the ballroom for the dinner that you were wanded down, checked, searched, etc.
And again, they said that they've had this many times and nothing never happened until President Trump. But because of the situation and what's going on, I showed you guys a video of the hecklers. They had on Jeffrey Epstein mask. They had on Netanyahu mask. They had on Pete Hegseth mask with blood on their hands. So there was a lot of people protesting.
Now, a lot of folks have pointed out that this is exactly how security has been done in years past. Well, I actually think that's going to change moving forward based on what we saw last night.
It should have changed last night based off what's going on in the war and the approval rating. I still don't understand why they did not impose the National Special Security Event designation.
And so when you talk about how easy it was to actually get inside this building yesterday, anyone relatively could have done it. Now, one other thing I learned from someone who was staying at this hotel yesterday, typically at the Hilton Hotel, you need a key card to get up to your room or to move from floor to floor. Yesterday, though, this person tells me that the key card system essentially was off. You did not need a key card to go from floor to floor. Once again, no explanation for...
So, there go a hint right there for you guys. You did not need a key card yesterday. It wasn't working. I'm just saying. Let me know what you guys think.
Why that happened or why that is. I just tested it out today. It appears to be working again where you would need a key card. But I wanted to give you a little bit of behind the scenes to really explain to you how, like I said, easy it was to get into the building, even though it was very difficult to get into the actual ballroom. And while there was no really security to get into the building, there was...
You said they already knew how to protect the president. The Pow had a key card. Yeah, he did have a key card. It would not have mattered. Right.
Ton of
I was performing right then.
Wait, this was staged. They made the security camera. Yeah, I got that. This guy did like a little 3D camera like movement thing. I'm gonna show y'all that. We'll get to it.
And for the president, the press secretary, and the first lady, it's kind of like a pivotal moment in the trick where you're just about to do the...
Now, this is the guy with the cards. I don't know why people was making a big deal out of this card trick, out of this note. I don't see anything suspicious here, but you guys let me know.
The reveal of like, wow. And we hear commotion. And, in the room, when there's commotion of that sort, you tend to think we've been...
Do y'all see him? He's in between Melania and President Trump. And the press secretary is to the right. And her child's there. Again, I'll say that again.
A lot of events. Is this a medical emergency? Is somebody having a heart attack? Because you heard a noise. It wasn't gunshots. I wasn't sure it was a tray. We're also higher than everyone, so we have a very good vantage point versus the thousands of people in the room. And I see everyone swarming one table. And I'm looking and trying to understand, and then you see people getting down, and I
think the lack of response was insane. That looked crazy too.
Thought, like before I went down, I didn't hear any shots or see what looked like a shooter. I thought there was about to be a bomb. They rush across to get POTUS. and the president gets like taken down by Secret Service, and we don't know what's going on. And he came down. You can look at the video, I don't know the distance, but less than a foot away from me. I'll never forget the image for my whole life because I'm on all fours, turned like this. They bring the president down directly in front of me, and we just look at each other for about 2 seconds. And my mind, obviously.
Now, I do have a piece in here where Donald Trump said he told them, no, wait, it don't sound like a noise as far as shots being fired. Let's just basically, let's see what's going on. But they forced him to get down. And then they said he fell, but he's denying it.
See, this is like a huge adrenaline. It's just like, oh no, are we about to die? I thought it was about to explode. I thought that was really my instinct. Then I heard what sounded like I thought were shots. So at that point, my mind shifted. I also wasn't sure if he was hurt because his face was not, it wasn't like, he went down really hard. The Secret Service,
they pushed him down.
Not, I thought in the movies, I don't know if they take you down easy. It was a tackle. Like it was NFL, and that would hurt anyone. I don't care what age you are. So when we were looking at each other, he was just looking, but the expression in his face didn't show whether there was pain or what was going on. And then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, it's like, oh, it's seared in my brain. They pick him up kind of, and they go out, and then we're on all fours. And
I'm going to show you guys 2 sets of emotions where people was pretty much calm, but then there was some that was just terrified, extremely terrified.
I see Courtney and I see 1 or 2 of the other people that are at the dais, and we're like, are they shooting? Like, we don't know what's going on. So I don't want to get up. So we army crawl. She went first, and the rest of us.
Okay, let me read this from No Machine Space. There was 8 Secret Service at the door. By the way, Trump was literally the last to know anything serious was going on. I believe it.
Army crawl out because we didn't want to stand up because I don't want to get hit. I thought there might be somebody still shooting.
Everyone is messaging and commenting. Why am I not talking about the note? The note that was shown to Melania.
Moon, the note. A lot of people was talking about this note. I don't see the connection. If this was staged, I don't.
Carolyn Levitt and Donald Trump right before the shooting occurred at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I'm not talking about it because I don't think there's anything to it. What the note said was victory. It was part of a trick that Oz Perlman was performing for them right before the event started.
Diamond Gang is wild because what Caroline says, they were blowing this part up. When she said shots fired, they blew that part up. You hear me? Thanks for the likes. I love y'all. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned.
And it was something that had nothing to do with the shooting whatsoever. So I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories floating around about this, but here's Oz Perlman himself talking about.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm not the one for conspiracy theories. I don't believe them. I have a friend he's into those things, and I never even gave it a thought until I started reporting on the war and different things like that. Now my mind is a little bit more open to listen to them.
This. He was headlining the event.
Closer than we are now. I mean, it was insane. It was peak moment of a reveal of a trick. It was, I'm ripping the paper off. I'm showing it to the press secretary, to the first lady. And right then is when POTUS saw it. We heard the tumultuousness and we all turned right at that moment. And like, I initially did not think it was a shooting. I thought there was about to be a bomb. That's really what I truly thought.
That was posted by Jonathan Karl this morning as they went over what happened, or thinking back about it and talking about what they experienced. So I hope that satisfies everyone. There, I've talked about it. There you go.
Let me stop. You said I should. You're talking about as far as the conspiracy theories. Yeah, now I will listen to them. But before, I didn't even want to hear them. I'm like, I don't believe in those. You know, I would just stop the person because I just didn't.
That's what it's all about. There's nothing more to it that I am aware of. So if you think there is, let me know in the comments. I'll see you.
I'm the type of person I like to live my life in peace. I feel like conspiracy theories bring on paranoia. I think they bring on fear. I think they bring on anxiety. So That's why I would never listen to them. I believe you are what you feed yourself. And I I was like, nah, no thanks.
Back here for the 411.
Ouija, when you went back up to the podium to say that the event would not continue, you were obviously very emotional, very shaken. Talk about what.
Now she's going to talk about, she had her child there. So I can only imagine.
Was going through your mind at that moment?
Well, what was going through my mind is my 7-year-old daughter was there, my husband was there, my parents were there, and it just is a huge reality check. And I think, on a night where we all came together to celebrate the freedoms in the First Amendment, we also have to think about.
What's so ironic? They was there to celebrate freedom of speech and celebrate the press. But guess what? The Trump administration is consistently bashing them. So this was just like, wow.
How fragile they are in this country because, shootings and would-be shootings happen every day. And it doesn't matter if it's, the White House Correspondents' Dinner or anywhere else in this country. Nobody should have to feel that way. Nobody should have to feel scared to be anywhere in a public place. And that is not what this country is about. So I think that.
I just don't understand with everything and the temperature and the war going on. This is insane.
I was just pretty rattled because we were still waiting for more information and details.
And the guy is a sick guy. When you read his manifesto.
Now, let me tell you this. Trump flew to the internet to expose who he was. He put his picture out first and everything. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys, there was a 60-minute piece he did right before I went on. He got upset because they brought up the man's manifesto and what he was saying. And he said a lot of things about the Epstein files and the P word. And Trump literally went off and called this woman horrible. You guys are horrible people. Once again, bashing press.
He hates Christians. That's one thing for sure. He hates Christians, a hatred. And I think his sister or his brother actually was complaining about it. They were.
That part, that's the sad part. His family alerted the police. It's like some law enforcement will make something. He has to do something first. And I don't think that's okay at all.
Been complaining to law enforcement, so he was a very troubled guy.
She was scared. She was very fearful.
We were just seated over. I'm seated near one of the doors, and people are shouting USA now.
Listen, she said people were shouting USA. I showed you guys there were so many protesters and people and hecklers, and it was a lot going on. I don't know if I would have been able to hold my phone. I probably would have called my kids and start telling them I love y'all.
I don't know. I just heard like 4 huge knocks by this door. Everyone. I don't know if it's safe now, but
this right here, and of course, I put this scene right back in here. Kash Patel, head director for the feds. Look at him just sitting there.
President Trump going on.
You can't make this up. Now, this part right here, Caroline, this is what got a lot of people saying it was staged. You guys let me know what you guys think in the chat, please. Come on, y'all. I'm almost at, 40 likes? Could I get a quick 60? Can 20 people, please and thank you, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. We got so much more. We're going to get into the details. They talked to his neighbors. They raided his home. I need y'all to hit the like for me, please.
On stage as a two-term president.
For the first time.
And you, how about it? And you are, as you know, this man is ready to rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be
Everyone that thought that this was staged, this is the #1 clip that was being played all day.
funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should.
That right there. There will be some shots fired tonight. Okay?
Tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself.
You guys know she's going on maternity leave, right? And guess who's taking her place? President Trump and Pete Hegseth. This is going to be wild. So they're going to hold the press conferences and speak.
So it's a lot of his own work.
Can I make one prediction? I just want to go.
I feel bad for her.
Moving out, guys. Moving out.
Kash Patel again on his phone. Why is he outside on his phone? I don't get this, y'all. Help me out. Thank you guys for hitting a like. I appreciate you. If you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is linked in the chat. Let's go.
There are numerous all right, guys, keep moving out that way.
Like he made no type of moves as if he was the director. None. Again, let me read this. Okay, so someone said, very interesting. This is the thoughts, okay? Majority. It says, very interesting. I literally just logged into X and I see the first reel. When she said shots fired, I wondered. Sure enough, the very next reel I scrolled below from the first reel is legit about a shooter who fired shots at the event. And this guy said shot fired. My brain really works. So a lot of people is saying this was staged. This is what they're thinking. What you guys think? We have a lot more. There was someone speaking to Fox News. I can't remember who it was, but I do have this clip. She was literally cut off mid-sentence. So she was about to start telling details.
We know that he traveled from Los Angeles to Chicago, and then
now we're gonna get into a little bit of details.
In Chicago to DC, it appears he traveled by train during both those legs of his trip and checked into the Washington Hilton a couple days ago on the 24th. And
so he traveled by train. How? Now listen, gang, I haven't been on a train since I was a kid. How did Cole Allen get on this train with these weapons? Do they search like the airlines? I don't know. I haven't been on a train in a long. Maybe he chose to travel that way because he could get away with it.
And then obviously attempted to breach the perimeter last night and was quickly subdued.
Is he talking to law enforcement, or is this information that you got through other means?
I agree. You said correlation does not prove causation. I agree.
It's information we primarily got from other means. So we've already started talking to folks who knew him. We've already started going through the evidence that we collected. It's been 12 hours.
Now, what I have a problem with, they asked him quite a few questions that he could not answer. I feel like he should have at least tried to give a reasoning, and he didn't. And the main question is what I just said. How was he able to get into the hotel with that? How was he able to get on the train with that?
Hours, so this is not something that is over. It's just starting, but that's where we are this morning.
Is he talking?
No, I mean, he's not. I expect to.
He's refusing. He's not cooperating either. I forgot that part.
He'll be charged tomorrow morning in federal court with 2 counts in a complaint. We are not viewing him as cooperating necessarily right now, although.
And of course, Todd Blanche is saying we need the ballroom. Of course, he's on board.
Well, we'll see what happens going forward, but as of now, he is. I expect he's a defendant, and he will be charged tomorrow morning with 2 counts: assault of a federal officer and using a firearm during a crime of violence, which is that underlying assault. Whether there will be
more additional charges, you could bet me additional charges will be added on.
More charges when he's indicted in the coming days and weeks is left to be seen, depending on what we learn from the evidence that we gathered last night and that we'll continue to gather over the next couple days and weeks. I hope this is a wake-up call to Congress. I hope this is.
Now, this is him going at Congress about that dang on ballroom. Here we go.
A wake-up call that the games that they've been playing, really with the lives of the men and women protecting them, should end. And I do hope that they get to work now and get a deal done, which is what President Trump has been asking for months now. And that
I don't care. This is my opinion. That ballroom is not a damn necessity. I'm sorry. We got too much going on. That ballroom, again, I don't care. It's not a necessity. They're acting like this ballroom. If that was the case, then we need many ballrooms, a lot of them, to save lives.
Folks in that room, which included some of those congressmen and senators, not in addition to the press and the administration officials that were there, got a firsthand look at how great those men and women are and how using.
Number one, he didn't ask Congress. You just don't start bulldozing. You don't own the White House, man. Like, seriously. He thinks that he could go around.
Pawns.
He thinks that he could go around the rules. The rules don't apply to him. They do.
In their political game is something they should not be doing.
President Trump just released a statement saying the shooting incident that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner would have never happened with the militarily top secret ballroom currently under construction at the.
Now, this is when I started to begin to think, yeah, maybe this was staged. This right here.
White House. He went on to criticize the attempts to block its construction.
Multiple sources tell CBS News.
You could say that. Is it Christina? I mean, Frank, but don't curse in my chat. Now I gotta remove your comment. You can't curse. You could say what you said, but misspell the words. Please misspell the words. Please and thank you. Hold on. Unfortunately, I gotta delete that. All opinions will be respected. This is a safe space, even if you have an opposing opinion. All I'm asking is please just misspell the curse words.
That the gunman told law enforcement he was targeting Trump administration officials. Sources now say that Allen's brother had also alerted local police.
Now, this is what I'm saying. First, they said Trump said it was the sister. Now they said it was the brother. We do know family members alerted the police and nothing was done. He should have been taken in and evaluated just based off of the severity of that manifesto and the things that he was saying.
of alleged alarming writings that he shared with the family prior to the incident. CCTV video reveals the moment the
Now look at this. This right here doesn't seem real.
31-year-old suspect sprinted past a security.
Because remember, one of the agents was hit. He had a bulletproof vest on that saved his life. I thought that once a suspect drew, that automatically they would draw and actually do it.
Checkpoint, charging toward the ballroom where President Trump, cabinet officials, and roughly 20.
I'm going to say this. Cole is lucky to be alive today. He really is.
2,500 guests were assembled.
It is clear, based upon what we know so far, that this individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could.
Cole Allen, a teacher.
When I show you guys the breakdown, the 3D image of the ballroom, how far he was, it was a long stretch. He had a long way to go. He would never have made it to the president. He was too far away. That's another reason why some people believe that this was staged.
From Southern California opened fire at a uniformed division officer of the U.S. Secret Service before agents tackled him to the ground, handcuffing him.
He was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual.
Where's it coming from?
Shouts of "watch for crossfire" as Secret Service.
This is crazy, y'all. Please, please, please. I'm at 63. I got 234 in the building. Can I get 33 more likes? Not 33. I'm sorry. 38, 37. 37 more likes, please, please, please.
Personnel and DC police rushed to the scene, agents from inside the ballroom and medics from outside the hotel. Investigators are now combing through a hotel room at the Washington Hilton. Authorities have also...
Thank you for those that hit the like. I appreciate it. Again, if you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned. Thank you.
Begun searching his California residence.
The public should also rest assured that there will be no stone unturned during this investigation.
Listen, they ain't lying. They ransacked his house right after that. And I'm going to show you guys that.
According to his LinkedIn profile, the suspect worked for a tutoring and test prep company and was awarded Teacher of the Month back in 2024. He'd finished a master's in computer science.
And what I don't understand is that he actually created a game that was non-violent. Non-violent. Can you believe that?
Last year, he's now facing 2 felony charges, including assault on a federal officer. White House officials tell our CBS News' Jennifer Jacobs that authorities have found anti-Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric on the suspect's social media accounts. We're also told by law enforcement sources both of his firearms were purchased legally in California. As for the defendant,
here's the thing I know for sure in my state. If you have any type of mental illness, you cannot legally own anything. How did he get that? How? He has to have a history of this mental illness. He has to. But that'll come out later on. Thanks, gang. I'm at 73 likes. Thank you.
And Margaret, he'll appear in federal court tomorrow.
College student Cole Allen developed a prototype for a wheelchair emergency brake.
So this clip is from 2017. It's a news clip. He's a very bright, intelligent man. Most wackos are, excuse my French, but they are. He created this prototype for this wheelchair. Let's get into this interview.
Chair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
Recent Aging into the Future conference held by St. Barnabas Senior Services and the Eisner Foundation offered a test run on products that have the potential to enrich the lives of seniors. 14 different tech startups got to present to over 350 people in the hopes of getting their projects into some sort of senior health facilities.
I looked for other clips of his online activities outside of this. He has made a bunch of posts, but as far as like videos, I couldn't find any.
And the guy is a sick guy. When you read his manifesto,
No, Trump, he told it all. He told it all. Let's go.
he hates Christians. That's one thing for sure. He hates Christians, a hatred. And I think his sister or his brother actually was complaining about it. You know, they were even complaining to law enforcement. So he was a very troubled guy.
What has law enforcement learned so far from the gunman? Have you been able to determine a motive?
We executed a number of search warrants last night. FBI worked through the night along with state and local law enforcement at both coasts in Los Angeles and here in D.C. We executed search warrants on devices, electronic devices that we found.
His neighbors said that he was pretty much a pleasant guy. You know, they didn't say too much. They were surprised and they were shocked, and I will show you that as well.
That we believe belong to the suspect. And we're still looking to try to understand a motive from our preliminary investigation. It does appear the suspect was targeting members of the administration. I don't want to go beyond that because we don't have specifics yet about particular members of the administration, except that we do understand that that was his goal and his target.
They said he was constantly just, you know, harping on Trump and the administration all the time. He sent his family members things on it. He was obsessed.
We know that he traveled from
That's his house right there.
Los Angeles to Chicago and then Chicago to D.C. It appears he traveled by train during both those legs of his trip and checked into the Washington Hilton.
Listen, anybody in the chat, do you guys know? I haven't been on a train in years. Do they check you? Put it in the chat for me, please. I heard someone say agents acted slow and confused like the PA attempt. You know, I'm in PA too. 55 coffee. I don't know. I mean, I think by the looks, they were quick, but it just was weird that they were kind of far away from him. But I told you guys, again, they did not get top-notch security. They was like a step down from top-notch.
A couple days ago on the 24th, and then obviously attempted to breach the perimeter last night, and it was quickly subdued.
This guy right here, I had to get this clip. He thought he was too smooth with his two girls on his side. Look at this clip. It got real. I wanted to show you guys from, you know, what was going on, like in real time, what happened.
Let me show you where the shooter at the White House.
Now, boom, we're getting ready to look at this. I'm going to show you where he was, the perimeter of the hotel. Like, this guy did an excellent job. And you're going to see just how far away he was. He was far.
House Correspondents' Dinner ran through. He comes right past these three doors, and I want to know where that was. So it turns out the Hilton has a 3D tour of the whole place, and you'll see those three doors are right by the.
Bingo. You see that? So the three doors, bang, 1, 2, 3, right there. He did a good job. He did a good job.
elevator at the foyer of the terrace level. Let me show you the Hilton. There's this entrance on the lobby level down here. You could enter by the lobby, come downstairs, and then there's this.
And that's in the earlier video you seen. I can't even think of his name. I just showed y'all a video. He walked through the hotel.
Terrace level entrance, and this is where Ronald Reagan was shot. And I think the guy came in right through there. He would have crossed past the elevators, hung a.
Y'all see that? Let me take it back a little bit. Aaron did a walkthrough. Earlier.
See, those three doors are right by the elevator at the foyer of the terrace level. Let me show you the Hilton. There's this entrance on the lobby level down here. You could enter by the lobby, come downstairs, and then there's this terrace level entrance. And this is where Ronald Reagan was shot.
You know what? I didn't even think of that. He could have, you know what? I wonder if President Trump knew, he might not have been thinking.
And I think the guy came in right through there. He would have crossed past.
See that? He said maybe he came down that elevator. Remember, I showed y'all, Aaron said, here's the elevator right here. I said they should have had a checkpoint right there. They should have had a checkpoint.
The elevators, hung a left. These are the doors. They would have been shut. He would have ran right there and then got stopped right at the stairs. And bam, they got him.
You see that, guys? They should have did a checkpoint right before you went down the escalator. Not elevator, but the escalator.
And bam, they got him. If we continue going downstairs, you can see how close he might have gotten. Here's the thing. It's a ginormous ballroom.
Hold on. Maybe it is. It's stairs. I thought it was an escalator. Well, they should have. I could have swore Aaron was at an escalator.
2,600 people in here. The stage is way up there.
Boom. You see how far he said the stage is way up there. Okay. There's no way he would have made it. Now, don't get me wrong. A pow, if he had aim. They said he went to the gun range a lot. So, yeah. Maybe my theory is not right. I said he was too far. Nah, not for that.
And this is where Ronald Reagan was shot. And I think the guy came in right through there. He would have crossed past the elevators, hung a left. These are the doors. They would have been shut. He would have ran right there and then got stopped right at the stairs. And bam, they got him. And bam, they got him. If we continue.
They should have had a checkpoint at them stairs.
Going downstairs, you can see how close he might have gotten. Here's the thing. It's a
y'all see the ballroom. He shows it so fast.
Ginormous ballroom. 2,600 people in here. The stage is way up there. So even with a pretty good rifle, with all the security there, if he had got down to that level, nothing would have happened. And this was all filled with tables. So he wouldn't have been able to get anywhere close.
What y'all think? Put it in the chat. What do y'all think? Let me look at these comments real quick. I got it. I got to, y'all. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me get some of these comments. Stage. Hold on. I need to see some of these comments. There's two governments. Hold on. Hi, Christina. I'm trying to see what y'all thinking. All right, let's get back into it.
Close. That's the other side of the room there. So it makes sense that people in the room didn't necessarily recognize the gunshots for what they were, basically on the other side of a building. The news cameras happened to be on the edge of some of the doorways where the sound would have traveled down through the stairs. But up on stage, when you look at the footage, no one reacts really. They only kind of notice that people are moving around once security pipes up. So go ahead and hunt around on the Washington Hilton 3D tour. Have fun with your floor plans and your maps and your instant replays.
Hey, he was far. He was super far. Thank you. All right, I need 6 more likes to get to 100 likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Diamond Gang. If you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned. Let's go.
So there he goes. He's going to come right around here. Oh, here he goes. God, he was fast.
It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass.
Now we're getting ready to look at people's theories about why they don't believe that this was real.
We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
You can't make this stuff up. Trump is saying that we had the shooting outside of a press dinner.
And I specifically got this piece because this is truly how I feel about this ballroom deal.
Because he didn't have a ballroom. You know, by this logic, we could end all violence in America if only we had more ballrooms.
Because at the end of the day, they feel like we should have these things, okay? And I'm going to just leave it at that.
Why did we have this horrific shooting outside the press dinner last night? It's not because Trump didn't have his ballroom. It's not because, as the GOP is saying today, oh, people keep saying nasty things about Trump. That's what's doing it. No, they're just trying to stifle criticism. Obama back in 2009 was facing 30 credible threats a day. And who was leveling all that criticism, nasty criticism at Obama? The GOP. No, I'm not going to blame the GOP for all those threats. And yeah, I've been reading all the comments that say, this was staged. Get real. Some kid from Torrance, California is going to travel all the way to Washington, D.C. loaded with weapons.
This is what grounded me. This is what grounded me. At first, I'm like, yeah, maybe. But this statement right here was like, snap out of it.
Shoot his way through security and ruin his life, all to help Donald Trump? Come on. The reason this shooting tragic happened, the reason why all tragic shootings happen. I know 4 people who've been killed by guns. I've been shot.
This is my thing. If he had mental health, if he had a mental health history, how was he able to legally obtain a firearm? Somebody help me with that.
Is because we have 400 million guns in America and people like to use them. We're a violent country. I almost lost my life when I was 5 years old. When I was 42, a cop pointed a gun at me from 20 feet away. I had to dive back to my office. This was at Duke University, outside my office, in order for him not to potentially shoot me. If you want to reduce political violence, here's a hint. Reduce all the violence. The political violence will go down with it. You know who's been promoting all this violence? The GOP, not the critics of Donald.
Remember, Charlie Kirk. I'm just saying, gang. I'm just saying. How many pow stories within 50 miles of the Hilton? He just told the story about Reagan. He just told the story about Reagan. I didn't even think about that. And when Trump was talking, he brought up Abraham Lincoln. He didn't even bring up JFK. He brought up Abraham Lincoln.
Donald Trump, they keep promoting more and more gun purchases and gun use. So
that part, what y'all think?
I'm not going to stop criticizing Trump. You shouldn't either. The reality is that we have a mentally unfit wannabe dictator, dangerous as president. Saying that does not lead to political violence. I'm going to be saying that reality until that guy is out of office. Everyone should be saying that. Millions every single day.
Well, it looks like all of the MAGA influencers got their marching orders.
They lit, as soon as they woke up this morning, you hear me? They lit the internet up. Let's go. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the, oh, I got 102. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the likes, Diamond Gang. I love y'all.
Last night, because after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, every single one of them at the same time came out and started talking.
Look at that. Look at that. So he must have said, hey, everybody, 8 a.m. East Coast time, I need y'all to go on. Look at this.
Talking about how this means we need to build the ballroom at the White House. It needs to happen. Look at this. You even have members of Congress getting involved in it, all at the same time, the same message. Donald Trump even went on social media today. The first message he put out today, the first message about the shooting today, was him talking about the need to build.
Diamond Gang, do you think he's going to get that ballroom? Do you think they're going to let up? The lawsuit's going to be dropped, and Congress is going to approve this ballroom.
The ballroom. It is so weird how the online reaction from the right to this shooting is, oh, well, we need to build the ballroom. That's what this means. It doesn't mean, oh, maybe there needs to be more gun control or more regulation or a.
Bingo. Who believes that there needs to be more control over weapons? Put a 1 in the chat if you believe that. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel like it shouldn't be. All right, let's go.
Conversation about security. No. They have to build the ballroom. You can let me know in the comments what you think about this and the reaction online from the mag.
No machine, I love you. Okay, Bo. Okay, Scott went with 2. All right. Okay, Francis said 2. So you don't believe that we need more control? Okay.
The Republicans. I just think it's so weird. So weird.
You know, the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner is really, really odd because how did this shooter get past security with a gun? I've been to this dinner many, many times, and I can tell you that security there is incredibly high. You walk through metal.
Now, she's been to a few of these, and she's going to, go through what she's seen in the past. You hear some people, like I said, they said that there was no metal detectors when you went in. I feel like because of the occasion, because of the time, because of the climate, because of the war, I feel like they should have had metal detectors in the entrance as soon as you hit the hotel.
Detectors, they wand you, they open your purse and look through the contents. There is Secret Service everywhere. There are cameras everywhere. It is an incredibly high security event because the entire administration is there, all senior officials, Congress, etc. It's just the latest of these many violent events that happen under this president and haven't happened in this way under other presidents. And I think one of the reasons so many people in the public are sort of skeptical and questioning all this is because
a lot of people are skeptical.
As law enforcement never comes out and explains the security breakdown that allowed these events to happen.
I want to read this. You said it's about security, perimeter control, and protection of very important people. You will never stop, right? Someone who wants to get a pow, regardless of how many laws you create. Okay, I could agree with that. The rest of the hotel was not secure because it's a hotel, and why we need the ballroom. Yeah. Okay. I'm loving these comments. Thanks for participating. All right, let's get it. Let's hear what she got to say.
So I think we need to demand and expect transparency on this.
This is really, really weird.
This speech.
Now, here's another theory. Again, I told you this clip was running all day. There were also regular people there, staying at the hotel and had nothing to do with the feast. But too, Sly, there was 2 other events going on. That's a lot of traffic. That's my thing. You got 3 events going on at the same time. for me, I think security needed to be heightened a little more. And I said this maybe 3 times. They did not impose the National Special Security Event designation. And I got a clip in here explaining that. That is the highest level of security. Being as though that is the president, why not?
Tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
Check this out.
Quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt.
Bingo. This is the clip that I wanted you guys to hear. Please pay attention to this. She was cut off. Let me take it back just a second or two. Let's go. Listen to this.
Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
Check this out.
Quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He was seated right next to me. And then he kind of leaned over and said, you know, I watched you on TV. You do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, you know, there are some.
They cut her conversation. That's why it went silent. So he told her, you need to be safe. He looked around the room and then her conversation was cut.
They cut her phone off. They stopped her from talking live on air. And this is the person who allegedly did this. Now, what's absolutely wild, that this random account, Henry Martinez, joined X on December 2023 and tweeted out one name, Cole
Allen. This right here has been floating everywhere on the internet, y'all.
On December 21st, 2023. There's a motive.
And I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building. I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room and it's much more secure. It's drone proof. It's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
The military is demanding it? I haven't heard the military. Why?
White House East Wing Ballroom project, where Donald Trump fired the McCreary architects and replaced them with Shalom Baroness Associates. This ballroom, the one that has the blueprint that looks exactly like Solomon's temple. And what does Shalom Baroness Associates have experience with? Doing multiple synagogue renovations, renovating temples. And you remember America Reads the Bible 2026, a historic call to return to God's word that literally finished today, where Donald Trump read the Bible. And he specifically read 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verses 11.
Now, this is how they're putting this conspiracy theory together.
11 through 22. So what does 2 Chronicles chapter 7 deal with? The dedication of the temples, where the Lord appears to Solomon after Solomon finished building the temple, and the Lord gave him a vision, saying, when I shut up the heavens so that there is no rain, or command the locusts to devour the land, or send plagues among my people, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sins. This is what Donald Trump read.
So okay, so he read it. What y'all think? This is why I can't get into these theories.
And so is this a play to get the third temple built?
All right, we're going to go to my second video. Just because he read it don't mean nothing.
All right. I'm generally not a big social media much or at all. First, remember Trump is trying to build a ballroom, which a hearing is scheduled for in about 5 weeks to see if it will even be allowed. Also, after the assassination attempt in 2024,
Pay attention, gang. I had to get this piece so you guys could see both sides.
his approval rating rose by almost 10%, and he's currently plummeting in the polls.
So listen, gang, I think that this incident right here is going to make a lot of people forget why they called themselves disliking him.
So now for the videos. C-SPAN was interviewing a former Trump official while showing the event and happened to be showing the ballroom on one side when the shooting started happening on the other screen. Convenient. Then, in his first speech after the shooting, Trump immediately explains how this shows how badly a ballroom is needed.
This is why we have to have all of.
This is insane. This is just so. Do you guys think it's a coincidence that this happened? Right when they, stopped the project and told him, you can't do this, or do you think that this was staged?
The attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room and it's much more secure. It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
He then posts a long post about how this means a ballroom is needed. Also, a journalist who was sitting next to Carolyn Levitt's husband went on Fox News last night to say,
again, she was cut off. She was cut off.
Say this.
Right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened, and then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV, you did a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some.
Yeah, she was just cut off. Also, when RFK Jr. was being evacuated, he couldn't care less about his wife.
That was insane. That was insane. They claim that there was another one. I can't think of his name right now that left his wife. Let's go.
Does that mean he just wasn't concerned?
I'm going to let you guys hear what he claims. He told Secret Service. He said that he wasn't concerned. He didn't think that the noise was that, of a weapon going off.
And when Vance was removed over 10 seconds before Trump, that was pretty concerning as well. Were Secret Service not actually concerned? I don't know. All I know is it seems like Carolyn Levitt might be a fortune.
Now that right there was weird that they got Vance up out of there before him.
Teller.
It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight.
Okay, something is really off about.
Exactly, Sky. They grabbed him up like they were trying to protect him for sure.
Last night. First of all, they took J.D. Vance off that dais before Trump. I am pretty sure that's not protocol. And they left Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, just sitting at his table after his detail was trying.
My thing is, Kash Patel didn't go into action. He literally was sitting there twiddling his thumbs. That was unreal.
To get the attention of the Secret Service to get him out of there, and they were just waved off. Not to mention the fact that RFK Jr. was caught running away, leaving his wife behind. But as someone who has been to Congress, why the security there wasn't up to at least that level is beyond me. You have to go through a TSA type security to get into any of the buildings.
I told y'all they did not have top level security there.
I've had to take off my shoes. I've had my equipment bag gone through, including my makeup bag. And immediately Trump is now asking for this ballroom lawsuit to be dropped so that his friends can continue to donate money to him to build it. The whole thing.
Do you guys think that they're going to drop this lawsuit? Hegseth walking around with staged. I'm from DC, been in the Hilton many times. The shooter was too far away. I just said that. I just showed the 3D of the hotel. Yeah. No, they are not supposed to take care of their wives. Okay. The Secret Service is supposed to take care of their wives. Okay. But it don't look like they did it. I don't know. Oh, drop the lawsuit. There's the devil in the detail.
stinks. And the amount of men that were caught running away while their wives were cowering under the table, just
that part was unreal. I'm telling you, the man eating the salad, I was done.
tells you everything you need to know about these men who are so concerned with taking care of women. Well, they were at the door as soon as they could. So I'll be keeping my eye on this, because not only do I not trust what's coming out of this administration, but the mainstream media is already trying to toe the White House line. I'm seeing it already.
As Donald Trump and members of his cabinet were getting evacuated from the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night, RFK Jr. left his wife behind.
This is what I'm saying when I said some parts was like I was at a comedy show.
He went with the Secret Service. They were taking him, and she was left following them behind them. Watch.
That woman is pregnant. The one that look, there she go right there. Like, what about me? What about me? This is insane, y'all. Thanks, Diamond Gang. I'm at 113. Could I get 150? Could I get 150 tonight? I got 270 in the door. Once again, if you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned. Thank you. He fell.
Crazy. Really caring husband, huh? You even saw Stephen Miller walk in front of the camera, and even he was holding his wife. Even Stephen Miller, the human embodiment of Voldemort. Let me reiterate that I'm glad everyone is safe from last night, 100%. That room was full of a lot of people. This could have been very, very bad. But just like, how do you not take your wife with you? That's crazy.
That part, I'm happy that everybody was safe. Period. All right, let's go.
Minutes after Secret Service agents rushed Trump out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, he turned the shooting into a sales pitch for his $400 million ballroom.
That was insane. He did. He woke up first thing and said, we need this ballroom.
Drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom.
Let's be clear. The White House Correspondents' Dinner does not take place at the White House. It takes place at the Washington Hilton Hotel. Yes, the same hotel where Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981. Trump suggests.
And again, when he spoke out about the greats only go through something like this, he brought up Abraham Lincoln. He didn't bring up JFK. He didn't bring up Reagan, who was actually shot at this same hotel. He brings up Abraham Lincoln.
That a White House ballroom would solve the problem of alleged assassination attempts makes no sense. Even if you could build a nuclear bomb-proof gold-plated ballroom, it would not stop an assassin when the president leaves the White House. All the major alleged assassination attempts on Trump that we know about took place outside the White House at a campaign rally in Butler.
Bingo. What y'all think about that? That is true. Outside of the White House, there's no way it would happen inside. So,
Pennsylvania, at Trump's golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida, and at his home in Mar-a-Lago, and now at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which again, I remind you, does not take place at the White House. Unless you plan to keep the president locked up in a bubble at the White House in perpetuity, a ballroom does not solve the problem of presidential security. Maybe it's the guns. In fact, Trump himself bragged that security stopped the shooter from entering the ballroom where the Correspondents' Dinner was held.
Tonight, they had everything covered very quickly.
You can't have it both ways. You can't say the security worked well and say the lack of security proves you need a ballroom.
Boom. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Correct. Somebody said correct. Somebody said ignorant. Let's see. 100. No machines. I love you. Let's go.
At this point, we don't know what the suspect planned to do, but Trump wasted no.
Welcome, Charlie. Welcome. I know that's right, Ruby. Amen.
Time Saturday night in comparing himself to the assassinated former president
Abraham Lincoln, the people that.
You see, I told y'all, he said Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, what?
Make the biggest impact. They're the ones that they go after.
Yeah, no. I worked in the White House, and the Secret Service handles thousands of threats against every president that the public never hears about. There were multiple assassination attempts against President Obama when he was in office. But the difference is he never turned those attempts into fundraising emails or got his supporters to wear silly bandages on their ears at a political rally. Or
wait a minute. I had no idea he had people doing that. This is insane. This is insane.
Tried to exploit a tragedy to appeal for a vanity project like a ballroom. In times of crisis, presidents are supposed to calm the nation and bring us together.
And what did I say? This is not a necessity. This ballroom, I'm sorry, y'all. This is not a necessity.
But this guy always finds a way to tear us apart.
Wait, John said nobody wanted to get a joke Biden. Use something else.
It seems like the results of multiple different Twitter polls involving the White House correspondent.
Now, this is another theory. They're saying that they deleted people that believe that it was staged. They were deleting their post off of Twitter. So let's go.
That are shooting are actively being hidden from the public right now. Take a look. The anonymous account, which has over 5 million followers, posted this poll that says, was the recent Trump shooting incident staged? And as you can see right here, I voted yes. And it says I'm the only person who's voted in 4 hours. Other users are tested.
Here's the thing. If you got a slew of people voting, that might have been the case. This one, I'm not believing.
This out as well and finding the exact same thing is happening to them. Whether it was staged or not, the response from MAGA accounts is not helping their case whatsoever. All of them are using what happened to justify building Trump's ballroom. And remember, Ashley St. Clair alleged the Trump administration uses group chats on X to coordinate messages with high-profile pro-Trump influencers.
I mean, you could tell that they all posted the same thing, we need the ballroom, at the same time. That's nothing new.
He said these influential accounts are added to chats with administration officials and campaign staff. So when a scandal or major news event breaks, messaging is allegedly synchronized in real time within these private chats. So the richest man in the world is suppressing poll results as the White House is coordinating with right-wing influencers to spread whatever narrative Trump chooses after a major news event happens.
This is the guy. Listen, y'all. I looked at this clip. It was unhealthy. But this is the guy that went viral for eating his salad. Let's get it.
Of course, have J.D. Vance in that room. Now to the President of the United States. And as John mentioned, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is where we are presently broadcasting from, and they are no longer on that stage. You, of course, have J.D. Vance in that room, naturally the President of the United States. And as John mentioned, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is where we are.
Yeah. He kept eating his salad like nothing was going on.
Presently broadcasting from, and they are no longer on that stage. You, of course, have J.D. Vance in that room, naturally the President of the United States. And as John mentioned, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is where we are presently broadcasting from, and they are no longer on that stage.
You can literally see people bending down. He didn't care. You gotta love him.
Was it staged? Was it not staged? Depending on who you ask, it was both. Yeah. The acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, says that last night's incident at the White House Correspondents Association dinner was targeting Donald Trump and members of his administration.
It definitely was. And we're going to get into his manifesto. That's coming up next, y'all. Hold tight.
Like, of course it was, because who else would it be targeting there? And the security breakdowns, apparently the individual detained was a guest at the hotel, had traveled to Chicago via train, and then made his way from Chicago to Washington, D.C., and then checked in as a guest at the hotel. Had a number of items on him that would have caused harm. In the end, none of it really matters, and I don't really care about it today. Donald Trump obviously cares about it because he's been posting about it nonstop, and it's just
he won his ballroom. That's it. That's all.
reason after reason about why he needs his ballroom, which,
this literally derailed any war updates today. I was super mad.
Have sliding poll numbers. You need a distraction from your distraction, and things just continued to.
That part, he needed distraction from his distraction of his distraction. And y'all know what that is. So he needed to distract from the war. The war was distracting from the Epstein files. So this is crazy. One event after the next.
Be going worse for you. So why not attempt to pull out the same scheme that worked for you in 2024? That's what a lot of people are saying, and that's what this feels like. So you can make your own decision. Let me know in the comments.
Healthy digest, my friends. Okay, so
That part, you can make your own decision.
in under a minute and a half, I'm going to break down the White House correspondent dinner false flag shooting last night. And none of this is making sense. So you have 31-year-old Cole Allen, who was an intern at NASA in 2014. He was a master's student of engineering.
An intern at NASA. He was highly intelligent. But I do believe you don't wake up one day and you have mental health issues.
He was interning at the NASA headquarters where all those missing scientists have now been deemed missing. And just so...
Diamond Gang, what y'all think about those missing scientists? That's crazy. But Trump said there will be an investigation.
Happens that night before the dinner even started. You had the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, saying that Trump is going to be typical Trump tonight, and there's going to be some shots fired. 3 days ago, you had a CNN report published saying,
how would an assassination attempt be staged? It says April 23rd. What y'all think? A coincidence? Wow.
How assassinations could be staged. Just so you see where I'm coming from, Cole Allen is pictured here wearing Israeli Defense Forces.
Oh, snap. He is wearing, you see that sweatshirt? Israel Defense Forces. This could be AI. I don't know. Let's go.
T-shirt, registered Democrat, and this is a perfect twist for the whole plot to be like, oh look, you got a radical Democrat leftist who's just trying to take out a Republican president. Now none of this is making sense. If you look very closely, you have the director of the FBI.
There we go, Kash Patel. Well, apparently at some point lost his mind. Probably not the night before the incident through night come on. Here we go, connecting dots. He was not a registered Democrat. All right, let's go.
Yeah, Kash Patel, just sitting nonchalant.
I do have another news clip, No Machines. I thought they said he was, but we'll see. We'll see as we get into it.
Casually, if you're the director of the FBI.
Why are people upset with this ballroom? Does everyone believe that when President Trump leaves in 2028, he's going to take it with him? And it's that part right there. So why do you think that you could tear up the ballroom that you don't own? You understand what I'm saying? Nobody like that. That's ridiculous. Bunkers in there and all. Like if someone was to go in there and to do anything seriously, more than likely it would have to be one of his own. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, why build this ballroom? It's not a necessity. We are in full active war, and he's crying about a ballroom. Our soldiers are over there hungry. I showed y'all guys their trays. We got more pressing issues. I think that's why people's upset.
Yeah, and it was just a shooting inside the vicinity where the president is. Would you be sitting the way he was, or wouldn't you be reacting?
Like at the end of the day, you don't need no bulletproof anything. Like they said, if there's going to be an assassination attempt, it's not going to be inside the White House. It's going to be outside. What is he going to do? Walk around with the ballroom on his back?
Calling the shots. Question everything, guys. Healthy Digest.
It seems like the results of multiple different Twitter polls involving the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting are actively being hidden from the public.
Sorry, I put this clip in here twice. Let me go ahead and fast forward this. So we seen this. I'm just saying, seriously, we don't need that. He don't need it.
Whatever narrative.
And the fact that he tried to bypass Congress and just start tearing stuff up, it's not yours. That's like me renting a house and renovating it. Why would I do that?
Trump chooses after a major news event happens.
You see the security moving quickly, within seconds, grab.
Now, Diamond Gang, he did a piece, 60 Minutes. I told y'all he crashed out and starts slandering the press again. Okay, so I will show you guys that is towards the end of this video, but let's go.
The vice president by his coat, lifting him up, bringing him out. Then the counter assault comes in. Took 10 seconds for them to flank you, Mr. President.
He got upset because she read a piece of Cole's Manifesto where he is referring to Trump as the P word and the R word because of the Epstein files. He act like this woman said it out of her mouth, like she was saying it. He said, I knew you were going to say this because you guys are horrible people. We'll get into it. Diamond Gang, please hit the like, Can I get 150, please? If you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all.
President, and then 20 seconds to get you out. It looked chaotic. At one point, you were down. What was happening?
Well, what happened is it was a little bit me. I wanted to see what was happening, and I wasn't making it that easy for him. I wanted to see what was going on.
The fact that they can't beep how they can't get care packages or anything over there, and they're like stuck. Their trays, it was bad. It was bad. They are not eating. One soldier lost 17 pounds over there. It's sad. I think our soldiers should be eating a lot better than that.
And by that time, we started to realize maybe it was a bad problem, different kind of a problem, bad one, and different than what would be normal noise from a ballroom, which you hear all the time. And I was surrounded by great people. And I
was surrounded by great people, just like the guy just said. So if you were surrounded by great people and they act fairly quickly and no one was harmed, what do you need this ballroom for?
probably made them act a little bit more slow. They said, wait a minute, let me see, wait.
Now, this is what I told you guys. He said that he had a conversation with the Secret Service and told them, wait a minute, like to verify the sound. Let's get it.
Wait a minute. So, I'm telling guys.
Just at that moment where it looks like you go sort of down at the surface, you were telling them to wait.
Well, no, what happened is then I started walking with them. I started walking, and they said, please go down on the floor. So I went down, and First Lady went down also, but we were asked to go down by the agents as I was walking. In other words,
they wanted you almost to crawl.
I was standing up, pretty much. I was standing up, and
y'all just heard the guy, the magician, in the beginning of this. They slammed him down to the ground. He fell on the ground. But this is his account. This is his truth. Let's hear what he got to say.
Then turned around the opposite direction and started pretty much walking out, pretty tall, a little bent over because I'm not looking to be standing too tall. And but I was walking out. It was about halfway there, and they said, please go down to the floor. Please go down to the floor. So I dropped to the floor, so did the First Lady.
We have breaking developments right now regarding the security at the White House Correspondents' Center. We now have confirmation from the Washington Post that the Trump administration did not impose the highest security level, despite the fact that you literally...
Bingo. I told you guys. They did not have the highest level of security. I'm going to pull this back one more time. Let's get it.
He's standing too tall, and but I was walking out. It was about halfway there, and they said, please go down to the floor. Please go down to the floor. So I dropped to the floor, so did the First Lady.
We have breaking developments right now regarding the security at the White House Correspondents' Center. We now have confirmation from the Washington Post that the Trump administration did not impose the highest security level, despite the fact that
Bingo. So that's why would they not impose the highest level of security, Diamond Gang? Why would they not? This doesn't make sense to me.
you literally had the president, vice president, and speaker of the House in the room. Donald Trump is also personally disputing the fact that he fell on his way out, even though videos clearly show him falling. So the Washington Post has now confirmed that the Trump administration did not impose what is called the National Special Security Event designation for the event last night. When typically you have the top president, vice president, essentially line of succession in the federal government.
Did y'all hear that? So, like, whose judgment call was that? And why would you do that? 3 different events plus people staying at the hotel. Like, this is insane.
You would have that designation, and that creates and opens up the ability to have the full weight of the federal government and all federal resources to protect the event. There was no designation of that on last night. In addition, Donald Trump was asked from CBS 60 Minutes whether or not he fell while he was going down to the floor, leaving the building. He said he did not. He was just told to lower to the ground.
I showed y'all that the magician said that he basically said they pushed him down.
Essentially. But if you actually look at the videos, he clearly fell. So that's where we're at. Spread the word. Follow for more.
Here's what we know so far about Cole.
All right, so we're going to get into Cole. We're going to get into the next clip will be them raiding his home, them talking to his neighbors. So let's get into it, Diamond Gang.
Thomas Allen, the 31-year-old suspect who allegedly, or what many officials said, tried to attack the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night. He was staying at the Washington Hilton where dinner was taking place, checking in on a Friday. The suspect had written what officials are referring to as a manifesto in which he clearly stated he wanted to target officials within the...
They found this manifesto in the hotel. They found the manifesto notes at his home. He sent this manifesto out, these writings, to some of his family members. He wanted them to find them at the hotel. So let's go.
Trump administration. That's what senior U.S. officials told CBS News. Investigators also said they found anti-Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric on his social media accounts. In his hotel room, investigators found writings, according to 3 federal law enforcement officials who shared that information with CBS News. Allen apparently sent some of his writings to family, and one of those family members alerted police about the writings. These writings did not specifically mention the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What we know about his background is he worked for a tutoring firm in Torrance, California called...
So again, he was highly educated. He actually went to Cal State. He has a degree in mechanical engineering, y'all. Mechanical engineering. And again, he legally owned firearms.
C2 education, according to 2 law enforcement sources. He received a Teacher of the Month award for the company back in December of 2024, but it is unclear if he still is employed with that company. We also know he had a degree in mechanical engineering at Caltech, the California Institute of Technology. And there's a record of Allen legally owning firearms. Family members told investigators he would regularly go to the shooting range to train with his firearm.
I'm definitely going to follow this story, because if he is mentally competent to stand in court, or he has some type of mental issues, how was he able to own those firearms?
A family member also told investigators that he made radical statements and that he constantly referenced a plan to, quote, do something to fix the issues with today's world. By now, we have seen the videos from Saturday night that show the suspect charging past security and towards the ballroom where the president, the first lady, vice president, members of his cabinet, and members of the press were just beginning to have their dinner. He was apprehended and no one inside the ballroom was hurt, thankfully, but a total of at least 5 to 8 gunshots were fired during the incident.
Listen, my mods are quick. Thank you, because I was just about to say something to that troll. You can say what you want. You're free to have your own opinion. This is a safe space. However, if you become disrespectful to myself, my moderators, or anybody in my chat, my moderators will snipe you and get you up out of here. So please be respectful.
According to 2 law enforcement sources, and of course you can hear those gunshots in the video. Officials said a Secret Service officer was struck by at least 1 round believed to have been fired by the suspect. The officer was protected by a bulletproof vest and is expected to.
Hold on, you said he lived with his parents?
To be okay. Now, shortly after the incident, U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro announced that the suspect would be charged with 1 count each of using a firearm during a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon, and she expects more charges to be brought against him. Allen will likely be arraigned Monday in federal court, acting attorney.
So tomorrow he'll probably be arraigned, and I will be watching. I will.
Attorney General Todd Blanche said he expects an indictment to follow. Right now, it's clear.
And with indictments, more than likely, he's going to be charged with they're going to add charges on. I'm pretty sure of it.
Officials are still gathering information, searching Allen's home in Torrance, California. They're gathering what could be evidence. They're searching his devices as well, trying to get to the bottom of what led to this shooting.
Law enforcement has descended on this neighborhood in Torrance,
Thank you. Is it Alina? Thank you.
California today. We've seen the FBI in and out of the suspect's family's home and also going door to door speaking with.
They said family home, but I didn't know if it was his mom, dad, sister, brother, because the siblings was actually, complaining, and they went to the police.
Neighbors searching for evidence, any clues that can help explain yesterday's attack at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I've been speaking with neighbors who described their shock, saying this is a quiet block where folks look out for each other and nothing really happens. One of them told me that he had seen Cole Allen around and on a scooter, potentially that scooter right behind me. Now, Cole Allen was someone very much involved in the community. He was a mentor.
So he was involved in the community. But it be those ones. It's those ones that'll fool you every time. His neighbors were shocked. They didn't really have too much, things to say about him negatively.
He was teaching students. He was in his manifesto. He talks about his love of his family, support from the church, someone again involved in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what was his religion, since he was so anti, Christianity?
This community or parts of the community, but today this is a community that is in shock.
Take a look at this video. We saw them speaking with neighbors who live here on the alleged gunman.
So what they are actually looking for is camera footage. So I guess they're trying to see, when he left to take off or whatever, probably what he had as far as bags and stuff like that.
Street. I heard one of the FBI officials saying that they were checking for ring camera footage. Authorities have identified the suspect in this case as 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance. And hours earlier, authorities also swarmed this area. The FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office executed a search warrant at
that part. Maybe he was too smart for his own good, because he was smart as far as book-wise, but doing something like this, oh my goodness, the dumbest thing ever.
Allen's home overnight. Sources tell Fox News that his parents have been cooperating with authorities, and one man who lives here on the alleged shooter street voiced his concern over this entire situation. Take a listen.
Nobody wants anyone bad living that close by, right? So, yeah, I don't, and once again, it's allegations. We don't know the true story, but it seems pretty horrendous so far.
It's pretty cut and dry. So, yeah, I wonder, do you guys think he'll get out on bond? I don't. It'll be extremely high. I doubt it.
Mola, those sources are saying these writings were found in the suspect's D.C. hotel room and also at his home in Torrance, California. What do investigators say those notes said?
Yeah, Morgan. Handwritten notes found in his hotel room at the Washington Hilton where the incident occurred. He was a registered guest there, as well as handwritten notes found in his Torrance, California home. Law enforcement sources say that it appears Cole Allen left those notes behind in the home.
Bingo. I told you guys, he wanted them to see that. He wanted them to know that he was targeting them.
Hopes that authorities would find them, left them behind on purpose, hoping that they would find them. The alleged writings expressing, as you mentioned, a dislike for Trump administration officials in particular, as well as Washington elites in general. Sources tell ABC News that the suspect allegedly made brief statements to authorities after his arrest that he was targeting Trump officials, administration officials.
But again, Diamond Gang, they said now he's not cooperating. So that's all he basically said. He wanted it to be known. Other than that, he hasn't said anything else.
At the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and that Allen's plans were to take out as many people as possible in a mass shooting. Of course, authorities still digging into his background, trying to determine a more specific motive.
At the end of the day, this could have been prevented. When his family members called concerned and nothing was done, like, I got a problem with that.
What his mindset was, looking through his home, looking through perhaps other writings, as well as his digital footprint to try to get an idea of his.
I feel like something should have been done immediately once they started reading that manifesto. And according to his family members, he sent them he gave them those writings, which made them alert the police.
Frame of mind, Morgan.
Well, Molly, you just mentioned this. We know investigators are, of course, digging into his background. What more do we know about him?
Well, we know that he is a 31-year-old man from.
And let me tell you guys, if you are not a threat to yourself, a lot of times they won't take you. They won't, based off of a phone call. They say a threat to you or somebody else. Those notes proved that he was definitely, but I guess they felt like he was so far away. How could he? Well, you seen it. He got on a train.
Torrance, California. In terms of background, a trained mechanical engineer working as a tutor in California. On his LinkedIn page, Allen characterizes himself as a, quote, indie game developer who created a video game called Boredom, which he described as a skill-based.
That game, Boredom, was a non-violent game.
Non-violent asymmetrical fighting game. Also on his LinkedIn account, he says that he graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering from Caltech back in 2017, and that he earned a master's degree from Cal State Dominguez Hills in 2025. And on his voter registration in Los Angeles County, it lists him as no party preference, according to voter registration.
So no preference. So he wasn't registered. Somebody said that. My boy said that. No machine. You was right. You were right.
Information that ABC News viewed.
Well, yeah, some news right now. Donald Trump is now lashing out at the press. It took less than 24 hours. Why? Because the press read him a manifesto.
This is it right here. This is it about the manifesto. A
passage from the alleged suspect that alluded to Trump being a, quote, rapist. Trump appeared on 60 Minutes. Norah O'Donnell read him, said, quote, in his manifesto, he wrote, I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile rapist.
He act like this woman said this out of her own mouth. Then he proceeds to say he was exonerated. No, you were not exonerated, sir.
Traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction? And Trump, well, he lashed out. I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody. I'm not a pedophile. Excuse me. You read that crap from a sick person. I was totally exonerated. You should be ashamed of yourself reading that. You're a disgrace. Minutes after calling.
He knows what they do. He's not exempt.
Norah O'Donnell a disgrace. Norah O'Donnell actually went on to say that the White House Correspondents Association was grateful that Donald Trump attended the dinner. And he says he wants it rescheduled. As always, spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
He appears to reference a motive.
Y'all ready? Because here it go. Diamond Gang, please, could I get 150 likes? I'm at 136. Please, 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 and thank you. Yeah, I'm at 136.
In it, he writes this quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction
Well,
to
I
that?
was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people.
He does not, it is what it is. And because you decided not to face what was going on, and because you did many things to deflect from this situation, this will be consistent and persistent. That's all I'm saying.
Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated.
Are you serious? I got mixed into stuff that had nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. He was not exonerated. He didn't go in front of anybody to be exonerated. Okay?
Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I was never.
This is insane because she read what he said in the manifesto. So he also knew what she was about to say before she read it. Yep. Exonerated where? Yeah. Follow the rabbit hole. How deep does it go? Ooh, baby, this is crazy. All right, let's go. We got a little bit more to go. Thank you. I'm at 142. Could I get 8 more likes? 8 more likes, please. And thank you. If you would like to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned. Listen, I've been covering this war. I've been covering Trump for months. My channel was demonetized behind this. Okay? I never used to promote my Cash App, but now I have to. Thank you.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead. Let's finish.
Y'all hear that? You shouldn't be reading this on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace, but go ahead. This man, oh my God. Then he goes home, leave, and go on True Social and slanders. Let's go. Oh, sorry, y'all.
The other thing that he wrote in the other thing in the manifesto that
it's been less.
If you're going to keep saying you are disgraceful, then why did you tell her to finish? I got to go back. We got to hear this one more time. Just a little bit of it.
Involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I was never,
excuse
me, you shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes.
She made it clear. These is his words. They're not mine.
And you're a disgrace, but go ahead. Let's finish the interview.
the other thing that he wrote in the other thing in the manifesto that
It's been less.
He wanted to fight her. You hear me? Okay, I need 3 more likes. I'm at 147, please, and thank you. Let's go.
Less than 24 hours since another assassination attempt on President Donald Trump's life. And what's weird is we already know way more about this shooter than to this day we still know about the shooter in Butler, Pennsylvania, the man who aimed a rifle at
Exactly. We don't hear about this man anymore. Why is that?
Donald Trump's head, who attempted to assassinate him and just barely missed by grazing his ear. We know nothing about this guy. You probably can't even remember his name. To this day, Donald Trump never talks about him. We've received almost no information at all. And then this shooter from last night, we already know tons and tons about his family, his writings, his motivations.
Listen, as soon as it was over, Donald Trump flew to True Social. He put his face out and he actually said what the family member said. He said a lot about this guy.
His work, his schooling, everything. Why is that? Well, a really common answer has been that the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination was staged, that it wasn't real. From my perspective, though, what it would take to pull that off successfully, in other words, to have a fully undetected plot, to have a fake assassination attempt. Remember, where one person actually did die. This man lost his life at that event. What that would take to go completely undetected.
That part, and that's why I don't believe in a lot of conspiracy theories, because who would put their lives at risk to stage anything? That's just like the Tupac story. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Despite all the people that would have to be in on it, to me, defies belief. It feels almost impossible to pull that off. But a lot of people have asked questions. Were there other people involved? Were there foreign entities involved? Were there people involved that the current administration is incentivized now to not release information on, to suppress information? Now that's something worth thinking about.
All right, now we're going to go into who he was. And then once this is over, I'll take comments.
How did Cole Allen end up here? We spent the day going through his background online and looking at everything that we think he's written. These were his social media posts, apparently.
He made a bunch of social media posts.
And this is what we found. Born and raised in California.
There go his family right there. So I'm going to say it's safe to assume that his mother is Caucasian, his father is Afro-American. Here's his siblings. Wow. That is who actually contacted the police. That's crazy.
10 years ago, Cole Allen was studying at Caltech, prestigious American university. We know from this that he's bright, he's technical, highly motivated, and here he is with his winning robotics team. They won in robot football. After leaving Caltech, he worked as a teaching assistant and a mechanical engineer. This is in LinkedIn. And he also made video games.
So they got most of his information from his LinkedIn. That's what I'm saying. Like, who would do this?
Here you can see, this was the game he made. Developer Cole Allen, publisher Cole Allen. Kind of tells you it's basically the video game equivalent of self-publishing. Didn't really go anywhere. But if you're looking for an insight in the game, well, there isn't really one. The game was an educational chemistry-based game. Here, atoms and electrons fight each other. He worked a private tutor.
Remember, I told you guys non-violent. So it was a chemistry game.
And in December 2024, was made Teacher of the Month.
He was just a pretty normal guy. He was a smart guy. Excuse me. You know, I don't know, he was a little quirky, but it's nothing that, you would definitely not expect him to, I guess, do the thing he.
Okay, so his family actually contacted the police, but people that knew him, neighbors and friends, said they didn't see any signs.
Did tonight.
If you're inferring from this that we don't really have the vital clue to tell us why he ended up where he did, well, yeah, you're kind of right. Normally, someone in the situation might have a criminal record or something else which shows up in federal records. But all we have for Cole Allen is this, a solitary $25.
That's not always true, because look at the young man in the first assassination attempt. I don't think he had a record at all. He was very young.
Donation to the Harris campaign in 2024. And what we do know about him is that in 2025, he seems to have been thinking about the future. He got a master's in computer science, and here he is graduating. So what happened? How did he go from there?
That part, you said right. I'm shocked Secret Service didn't handle him. Yeah, once he drew his weapon, I'm surprised too. I thought that was an automatic. And, one of the Secret Service men was hit, but he had a bulletproof vest on.
To this. President Trump has said there's a manifesto that he published just before doing this. So maybe we'll get the clues there.
The suspected shooter is from our area. He may have been targeting Trump officials wanting to commit a mass shooting, and now he's not cooperating with police. We have a lot of new information from officials on the man accused of opening fire outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Police say the suspect is Cole Allen, a 31-year-old from Torrance. He ran through a security checkpoint with multiple weapons before he was taken down by Secret Service. Sources are now telling ABC News investigators found handwritten notes in his hotel room, notes they believe he wanted police to find. The notes show anger towards the Trump administration and
most people that do these attempts, they want that recognition. They want the recognition.
what he saw as Washington elites, and investigators believe he may have been trying to carry out a mass shooting with the intent of hurting as many people as possible. Similar writings were also found back at his home here in California. Now, authorities say he took a train across the country to get to Washington, starting here in LA, going through Chicago, and then finally getting to DC.
Tomorrow, maybe even tonight after this live stream, I need to look up what they do when you board a train. Like I said, I haven't been on a train since I was a kid. It's like they don't search you. You can just get on a train.
They also say he checked into the same hotel where the dinner was happening, the Washington Hilton, 2 days before the shooting. Back here at home, Air 7 was over his house in Torrance overnight as investigators were in and out for hours. This is about 20 miles south of LA. And this next part might surprise you because years ago, we actually covered him. Back in 2017, when he was a student at Caltech, he built a device to help stop a wheelchair in an emergency. And this video appears to be the suspect. Since then, records show he earned a master's degree, worked as a tutor in Torrance, and described himself online as an indie.
I'm pretty sure he's going to have to go through psychological testing to see if he can stand fit for trial. But we'll get updates. We'll probably have a lot more details tomorrow. It's Monday.
Game developer. Now he's at the center of this federal investigation, facing several charges, and will appear in a DC court tomorrow to be arraigned.
Bingo.
How did Cole Allen end up here? We spent the day going through his background online and looking at everything.
I need y'all to subscribe to my channel. Please, please subscribe to the channel. I give updates, war updates. Unfortunately, this overshadowed what's going on. But I'm going to keep my ears to the streets and see what's going on tomorrow. I probably will go live tomorrow, more than likely, whether it's an update on Cole or whether it's an update on the ceasefire. But we're going to talk about something tomorrow. Let me take some of your comments and then I'm going to close out. We are almost at 2.5 hours. I appreciate everybody that hit the like. That keeps me in the algorithm. Like I said, my channel was demonetized. I'm okay with it moving forward. I will, if you want to support the channel, it's via Cash App only. But let me take some of you guys' comments. But I appreciate everybody for hitting a like because that is what's going to keep me in the game. The Cash Apps, they'll come eventually, you know? Okay. I got to stay in the game to get them, right? So it's important. Those likes are important. You can't put that in here. You got to use something else other than the real word. I was about to read your comment and I need to start paying attention because I'll literally just put one of y'all comments up and y'all are saying like if there's cuss words or words that shouldn't be in here. Okay, so when was the last ballroom function? 100 years ago? Right. I have no idea. I have no idea. You said so maybe he wasn't acting alone. Maybe someone provided him with the weapons when he got to DC. That's a thought. You know what? We're going to have to figure out what he got caught with. Was those his registered firearms? No, it's okay, Robert. I just had to, yeah. No, it's all good. Just misspell it. That's all. Or, say grape or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all good. We make those mistakes. You can still see the comments, the great even after yeah. Yeah, you can because you're a moderator. You can still see them. Let's see. Oh, Diamond, please read what he wrote, especially the part about turning the other cheek with supporting Bible passages. Okay, I will. I definitely will. I definitely will. Listen, I want to thank everybody that participated in this chat. Engagement is important too. What up, Mike? No time, but you think he'll be put in the institute? I don't know. This is Trump. He trying to bring back the death penalty. I don't know about that. You're welcome. I do. I like, this is my favorite part, is jumping in these comments. You know, like I said, you guys are free to feel how you want to feel, even if it's opposing to what I think. You are entitled to have your opinion. And this is a safe space, just as long as you're not disrespectful. And please know, I don't mean no harm. I'm just passionate about what I believe in. For yeah, that's what I think federal prison for a while. Yeah. Maybe it was something to make him do it. Maybe he was given, maybe that part. Yeah, my mods will get you. Let me see. Did you see the FBI guy directing photographers to be to the famous Trump fist in the air shot? No. You know what? This is interesting. If he was on some type of medications, he could have had a medication change, just like Rob Reiner. He had a switch in his medication, which I think he's going to end up beating that case. The Reiner's son. Yeah, it is. Thank you. Thank you. Micah, what's up? Thank you. You said martial law is coming soon. Yeah. You said stinks of stunts. That's what they saying. You know, I got to be careful. I can't really voice my opinions like I want to, because I don't want none of my videos to disappear. But I try to be careful. But yeah, I'm not one to believe in conspiracy theories, but some of them, they're starting to get my attention. I stopped watching the news once I left the banking world back in 2014. So I never kept up with this type of stuff until now. So it's interesting. You said you should have sent it. You said I should have sent you the short I saw today of a stage news plot. They were directing a small crowd around the anchor. It was weird. We'll see. He set up all 5 failed attempts on him. That's what they saying. Moral outrage is not a mental illness. That's true. You know what? That's true. They probably will look at it like that too. You know that. You said lots of psychos. Yeah. Well, Diamond Gang, I am at actually 2 hours, 30 minutes. Listen, make sure y'all subscribe. Keep y'all notifications on, because I will be back tomorrow. I want to say shots out to everybody that participated. And I mean everybody, even the trolls, okay? I want to say shots out to my beautiful mods that, hey, they be up in here and they will snipe you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. See, this is why I don't care about monetization, because I'm telling you, I put my appeal in. It takes 14 days. I still haven't received an answer yet, but I got scared and I was not live for 4 days straight. And I'm like, forget this. I got an audience. I started this and I'm going to finish it. So maybe later on down the line, you know, if they don't approve my appeal, I could become monetized. But right now, I want to be free. I don't want to be stressed out about being or becoming a better creator. I just don't. I want to be free. So that's these comments. That tells, when I get these comments, that make me want to keep going. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing something right. Maybe not to YouTube, but to y'all. And you guys is what matter to me. That's it. That's all. You said the fact that, wait a minute, let me pull this up a little bit. The fact that it's a federal crime and who's in charge of the feds. The question is, how much did it cost? Because he won't be going to federal prison. You think? Yo, bro, what's up? Listen. I need y'all to get over there and subscribe to We Beat You. If you guys love, and I mean love, conspiracy theories, because I had a couple of people in here that told me that I need to start getting into conspiracy theories. My bro cover a lot. So get over there and subscribe to We Beat You. This is my partner in crime. We started this thing together. So make sure y'all get over there. But all right, y'all, it's late on the East Coast. It's actually 1:30 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and close out. But make sure y'all please subscribe to the channel. And I will see y'all tomorrow. For those that didn't hit the like, hit the damn like on the way out the door. I'm out. I love y'all.
It's your under degrees. Sip on me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.